Hi everyone, this is War Mage Ragnar, and I've run into some problems. You see, the game was getting increasingly unstable to the point that the quest where we explode the Sabbat warehouse was impossible to complete. As soon as I went into it, Beckett had already appeared. I had to load back through the file several times. I quit the game and punched the game back up again. Nothing seemed to fix it. So I had to start all over again. Yeah, tutorial and everything in the faint hope that the problem might be solved. So this is the lengths I'll go to keep this thing flowing. So I'm just gonna give you a little bit of a fast forward through everything that I did until the point where we stopped, okay? Okay. And now we are back on schedule, sorta. That was a lot of time to get back to this point, but at the very least, I was able to do a couple of things a bit more efficiently, which I'll go more into detail in a couple of minutes. First, I need to clarify what I'm doing here right now. This is Sylvia Black. This is an NPC introduced by the Final Nights mod, where who is supposed to clean the slate of your masquerade strikes for a price. A price that, in my completely honest and not so humble opinion, is too steep to ever be worth it. Only if you screwed up so badly that you already have four strikes and you desperately need to get the heat off of you. But at which point, I think the price is only going to increase. Because she says that $1,000 is the floor of the price, meaning it can only increase. I have not even experimented with it to see how much the price increases, but I'm guessing that if you are at four masquerade strikes, you're screwed. You're just not gonna have the money to do it because everything else in the game is so demanding of your money already. So the only reason we're doing this now is for completion's sake, and because you get one experience point by talking to her and extracting a bit of truth from her about her story, where she explains that she used to be an agent for the Foo Syndicate, which we're not even going to see until very, very late in the game. And she no longer works for them because she was saved by a vampire that apparently changed her mind that, oh, maybe not all vampires are horrible people. And now she works for a small group of vampires that are supposedly less scrappy than the rest. We don't really know who this group is. Anybody who's more knowledgeable about the lore than me, feel free to tell me in the comments what your theories are. And here we talk to the skillbook merchant of Santa Monica, Jimmy Reed. This is another addition from the Final Nights mod. And very classy, this guy. Very classy in his descriptions of Santa Monica. And he gives you a little quest to get rid of some thugs that are cluttering the parking lot and keeping potential clients from even getting to the public phone, through which one gets in touch with him. We make short work of these thugs. They're not as difficult to kill as one would think, especially because guns are really good, somehow better now in the mod than I remember them being in the unofficial patch and the vanilla game. I guess the damage of the guns has just been increased all across the board. And yeah, considering that as a vampire, all bashing damage is automatically halved, and you still take a lot of damage, you can imagine how potent firearms are against normal humans. That said, to use guns against vampire enemies, it's going to have to be very good guns. Either shotguns that have so much damage per shot and per projectile, because each shot emits several projectiles at once, or a repeating gun like a submachine gun that just puts out so many projectiles that no matter how much the damage is reduced, it overwhelms their defenses. As you're gonna see now, it's gonna be pretty easy to take care of them, especially because this time I actually prioritized presence instead of obfuscate, and the difference is very, very perceptible. Especially during the boss fights from before against Gimbal, which, to be fair, was not exactly difficult to begin with, but in the fights against the ghost and the thugs in the diner, I could really feel a difference. Yes, it was a bit of a close call at the diner because I got very adventurous, because I found this shotgun in the sewers, because this time I also increased my perception to a level I don't usually do with this kind of character this early. So I was pleasantly surprised that I just happened to be going around the sewers and saw the shotgun highlighted there. I was like, oh, my lucky day. So I just bought some shotgun shells and said, you know what, I'm gonna beat the ghost and the thugs at the diner with nothing but the shotgun. Because even though one person in the comments has actually said that with a higher level of presence, it is entirely possible to defeat the ghost with a knife and blood buff, I was not willing to, put any points into melee, and I wanted to make a point. I wanted to prove to myself that I could remain focused on firearms and still beat that guy. And in part of the footage that I lost due to several crashes and the ever-increasing bugs. I actually tried to plant the seeds of a potential change in the build. I was considering, hey, maybe I'll give Daimonian more of a chance. Maybe I'll just prepare myself for the future when I finally unlock the final power of Daimonian, which is Concordance, which inherently forces you to be unarmed. And it is for this reason that, as you might have noticed when I paused there on my character sheet, I increased my brawl ability to 2 because I want the free brawl points that Nines Rodriguez gives us as soon as we enter downtown to be worth it. I wanted to take us to level 3 because if I'm not mistaken, the Brawl skill book will take us from level 3 to 4, and if not that, maybe 4 to 5. Still, I just wanted it to be high. It's not going to be exactly useless for us because Brawl governs your success rate at feeding on people during combat, so it's going to be there. It's going to be a bit of a help, and Presence is going to facilitate that even further. So there's still a lot of synergy there.
As far as I can tell.
I also put a couple of points into firearms pretty early on, especially because of those.
The next graduating class of shovelheads. Ugh, losers. Yeah, this is about like everyone to know just who they're dealing with. So if you get in there and have to bust a few heads, don't feel bad. Think of it as upholding the masquerade. Yes, I can. Just tell me when you're ready, and we'll leave. Once you're there, however, you're on your own. You'll have to get into the place and plant the explosives in the middle office to
because,
structure.
My God, if I had done all of that just to get to this point, and the game still be broken, I was gonna lose my mind. Thankfully, the indications that the breakage occurs right as soon as the level is loaded. There's a sound effect of Beckett leaving his animal form, and I didn't hear that, and everything is back in its place. The board is covering the hole in the wall. Everything seems perfect. Now here is potentially where I make a big mistake during this quest, because I had read on the website, on the fandom wiki of Bloodlines, that you only get extra experience points in this little quest if you go the whole way completely undetected, and if you don't feed on anyone. Because technically, if you feed on one of those thugs to the point they die, it should not count as them detecting you, even though, by our logic they should. But apparently, for whatever reason, that homeless man counts as one of the people you should not feed on, and that's why I possibly didn't get my extra experience points. Because the website said you get 2 extra experience points, meaning I would normally only get 1 and then I would get 2 on top of that, so it would be 3 experience points. And if you'll remember, the clan BAALI advantage in this mod is that in every experience gain of 3 points or higher, you gain 1 extra. So if I had done everything correctly, I believe I should have 4 experience points at the end of this. Sadly, that didn't happen, and I did not want to repeat this quest just to find out if that was the case. It's very possible that the mod also changes the amount of XP you gain from this quest from instead of just getting 2 extra experience points, you only get 1. So by all logic, if I did everything right here, then it would make sense that I only got 2 experience points. Did I explain that correctly? I hope I did. It is a bit lamentable though that because I was trying to be completely stealthy and not be seen a single time, that I was not able to go around the ammo crates because it would really save up on money not having to buy shotgun shells, for example. And I don't really care about the ammunition for the revolver because we're close to the point where we won't be using it anymore. Because I already have the Glock, and past this point, I think I'll only be using the Glock whenever I need some extra range and fighting some zombies and head runners later on. Once again, please don't mind the horrible visual effects of my obfuscate. My computer is horrible, but soon enough, I'll be getting a replacement. Which is not even for the sake of video games, it's for work. But hey, side benefit, I can actually play video games decently. So if I actually get the new computer before I'm finished with this Let's Play, I'll find some way to transfer the save files to the new computer. It shouldn't be too difficult because it only causes conflicts in the data if, for example, the game is modded in a certain way in the machine of origin, but then it's modded in a different way in the destination machine, if that makes sense. But since it's just going to be Final Nights in one and the other, in A and B, the save file should be completely fine. And here I get a little bit nervous because I had never done a completely undetected run of this quest before, and I did not know that this thug just stood there forever. I thought he was going to do his rounds, he was going to walk away and free that path for me. So I said, oh, okay, because I was not detected, they added some other obstacles for me to navigate. So I thought, I saw the little lock icon at that train wagon before. Maybe I have to lockpick to be able to get through. That's why you see me coming back. But sadly, that was not to be. It is impossible to pick. So I have to fight an alternate path, which turned out to just be turn right and go around the next wagon. This is probably very old news for other players, but not to me. I never played this completely obfuscated way before, even though I played as a Nosferatu before.
What? Shit, I ain't scared of nothing. Scared for whoever decides to come and get a piece of this.
Hey, quit waving that thing around. Fucking explosives all over the place. You trying to blow us up or something?
So yeah, the timer for the bomb is very forgiving. It gives you time to walk around crouched. You'll escape the explosion radius easily. So no need to rush, no need to panic. I find it a bit funny that you're just sufficiently outside the radius that the guys you just snuck past die, but you're just peachy. I like the little retexture that Zeromorph did to Beckett, to his animal form at least. Because I remember him being kinda, his fur was white, so it looked kinda like a ghost. And what I realize now is that it's very possible that Beckett's animal form has the exact same model as the spirit wolf that you summon with animalism. That is very possible. I'm not gonna criticize. I understand that the game was rushed. I cannot fault them for reusing assets. especially because we only see him in this form twice in the entire game, and from a distance, so it should not be too worthy of excessive criticism, considering all the other things that this game got right. For the time, chef kiss.
I've heard a large concentration of them live in this city. They're one of the reasons I'm in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I was lingering a little bit on the lines, giving the characters some chances to talk more, because I knew that I was going to record the voices, that was going to record my commentary posthumously, as it were. So I thought, oh, I can probably give these guys a chance to talk more, because when I'm playing, it's hard for me to divide my attention between skipping the dialogue or listening to key parts of it and making commentary. But here, the volume is very low. I don't have to care what they're saying. I have a little more freedom to let my thoughts flow. I don't have to split my attention, which means I'm probably not a very good Let's Player. But those videos are, from the outset, they're supposed to be a little more informative.
No kidding.
And when I do live commentary, I tend to ramble quite a bit. So I can spare you from the brunt of it this way. Let me know in the comments which way you prefer. Do you prefer my live commentary, or do you prefer me to record after the fact like this? Because I'm pretty sure that at the very least, this episode and the next are going to be recorded afterwards, because I already recorded the gameplay without live commentary. So you're going to have 2 episodes to decide which one you prefer. Make sure you tell me by then.
Oh, shit. Huh. Well, savor the flavor, fledgling. Thanks.
So yeah, this is how we tell Bertram that, oh, we saw through your little scheme with Knox, but then we went through with it anyway.
You better get back downtown.
Just for the experience points and nothing else. No reward for doing his job for him, even though we know what happened. We know we were being played. There's no logical reason, and I would like to have any reason, even if it was just to use that information to make him look bad to the prince. We can threaten to make Mercurio look bad to the prince, and we get nothing from that. So why not do this to the Nosferatu that could give us something interesting? A boon, maybe. A skill increase in stealth or investigation. So that's about it for this episode. I don't think I have anything else to say for now, because if I do go on, it's just going to encroach on things that are still going to happen in the next episode. So enjoy the rest of the cutscene. I would appreciate you guys' feedback, and thank you for bearing with me through this awkward, trudging journey. Have a good day/night.
Leave.
There's 3 of us, Rodriguez.
Yeah. 3 of us.
What are you gonna do? Shoot us? This ain't over. We'll find you. You too, Rodriguez. You're both dead. Nobody messes with a Sabat and lives.
Keep moving. Trouble sure seems to like you. Good effort. Execution needs a little work. You look like shit. Name's Nines. Should have been more careful, newbie. This ain't the burbs. You do that, Me? I got things to deal with. Why don't you pay me a visit at the last round tonight? I don't know what you've heard so far, but it's time you heard the real story. This is a mean existence. Stay out of trouble, kid.